Hello, my friends. How are you? I hope you're doing very, very well. My name is Mariah. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, make sure you subscribe and welcome. If you have, a very, very warm welcome back to you. Today, I wanted to continue my Gnostic texts series, but I'm throwing in a curveball because why not? Because I can, because it's my series. And I'm throwing in a book from the shock horror Bible. Dun dun dun. And I'm doing that because I reference this book a lot. I quote it a lot, especially on my Twitter page, in reference to something that maybe Christians would resonate with, that maybe people who think Freemasons are cool would resonate with, by name dropping King Solomon into the conversation here. And you may have guessed it, I am going to read from the Book of Wisdom. Now, right off the bat, Book of Wisdom, we already know we're talking about wisdom. We're talking about Sophia. We're talking about the Aeon Sophia, the Gnostic Aeon Sophia. And if you're like me, I went to a Christian school until halfway through grade 8 and I defected in the middle of the grade. Anyways, I have a lot of Christian background. And, I even went to youth group throughout high school. So I've read the Bible, and there wasn't a lot that really stuck out to me as goddess worship or honoring a female divinity at all. But looking back, I can see that the Book of Wisdom is a clear example of that. And that's why I want to read from it for you, just because I think that, one, I would like to call this a Gnostic text because we are honoring the Gnostic Goddess Sophia, wisdom. King Solomon is clearly working with her, identifies her by name. And, in the Bible, it's always wisdom, 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 never Sophia. But it was originally written in Greek, so it would have been Sophia, the name, and then it was just translated to wisdom. So I am skipping through the book a little bit. I will probably continue to skip through, but if you want to read the Book of Wisdom on your own, I would recommend it. You can Google it and find it anywhere. It's pretty accessible information. I'm going to start with chapter 6 in the Book of Wisdom. I'm reading from ebible.org. I know there's, different versions and stuff like that, but this is just the one that I found accessible on my iPad. Okay, chapter 6. Already screwed up. Hear, therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Don't know who they are. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. Because, being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of God. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in the highest places. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. For he hath made small and great, and careth for all alike. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom, and not fall away. For they that keep holiness holily, it says holily, shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed by the wisdom goddess Sophia. Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. She is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She preventeth them that desire her in making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. I say this all the time to people, all the time on my Twitter, all the time to my clients, all the time on my channel here, is that if you are seeking Sophia, Gaia Sophia, she's already with us all the time, but if you have the inkling to research and look for her, she's already like, hey, like, what's up? Like, she's just waiting for you to tune into her, essentially. And this is what King Solomon's saying. Okay, where was I? To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watches for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth, this is a weird version of very old English, I guess, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. She's always there. This is King Solomon, not me talking, even though I say this stuff too. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws, and giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us nearer unto God, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, Sophia, that ye may reign forevermore. As for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Interesting Passover. Neither will I go with consuming envy, for such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom. That is true. You cannot be envious of other people, of anything, and expect to find Sophia assisting you in every single way. She does not go into envious hearts. She's in there, but you will not see her if your heart is full of envy, is a better way to say it. But the multitude of the wise men, wisdom, Sophia, is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. Receive therefore instruction through my words, and it shall do you good. I myself am also a mortal man, like to all the offspring of him that was made first to be of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air, and I fell upon the earth, which is of like nature, aka the fall of the goddess. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes. Keep in mind, this is King Solomon talking. And that with cares. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men have one entrance into life, and the light going out. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given to me. I called upon God, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. Interesting. I called upon God, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I called upon God. Oh, that was my tummy. I called upon God, and Sophia came to King Solomon. Need I say more? I preferred her before scepters and thrones. The esteemed riches, nothing in comparison of her. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as little as sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never go out. Light, limitless, light, Ein Sof, or that is also, sorry, my back. That is another reference to the goddess that is found in the Kabbalah, I want to say, Ein Sof, or it's definitely Hebrew. All good things, yeah. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom, Sophia, goeth before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them. But she is. He just didn't know it at this time. I learned diligently and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches. Neither do I, Solomon. We're talking about her all the time here. We love to talk about Sophia. For she is a treasure unto men that never faileth, which they that use become the friends of God, being commended for the gifts that come from learning. God hath granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given to me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom, and directeth the wise. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. I'm skipping a little bit. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, Sophia is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good. Kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of God, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of God, and the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things, remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. And in all ages entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of God and prophets. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom, aka Sophia. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of the stars, being compared with the light, she is found before it. For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things. I love that. It's like such a beautiful visual of the goddess Sophia arranging things before they even need to be arranged in a certain way. This is what I mean when I say that you're working with the goddess, and I have to remind myself all the time of this, that I need to not freak the fuck out, because being in alignment with the goddess means that she's already working in your favor before you even thought that you needed her to. Okay? I've experienced that time and time again, but still I slip into anxiety, and still I freak out sometimes, like I just did earlier today, and had a spiral moment. And then I was like, wait, like, if I'm really living like this with Sophia, with Gaia Sophia, which I am, then I already know that she's taking care of it, and that I don't need to freak the fuck out. And that I should stop freaking the fuck out, you know? And this is the same thing that Solomon's saying. It's the same thing. She order all things sweetly. I love that. I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. In that she is conversant with God, she magnifieth her nobility. The Lord of all things himself loved her. Now, I don't know if he's referring to like her male counterpart, Thelete, like the Aeon. She is an Aeon, and she had a male counterpart. If you've never heard that, I've got some videos where I detail the whole Gnostic creation story, but essentially male-female pair, Sophia is the one that fell here and became our planet Earth, but she made the human genome with her male counterpart. Now, I'd like to hope that many Christians and King Solomon here is referring to that male counterpart, because the God of the Old Testament is her bastard son. and the demiurge. And that's often who people mistakenly refer to as God. He is not God. He did not create Earth. He did not create the material realm. He's a trickster. And I think, oh, got an itch here. I think a lot of people are being tricked. But, yeah, sorry, my back is, oof. Wow, just letting it come through me, man. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of God and a lover of his works. If riches be a possession to be desired in all this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? Sophia worketh all things. And if prudence work, who of all that are is more cunning a workman than she? It's her cunning. We love it. And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teaches temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speech, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times. Therefore I purposed to take her to me, to live with me, knowing that she would be a counselor of good things and a comfort in cares and grief. For her sake I shall have estimation among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. I shall be found of a quick conceit in judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. He says stuff, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that, because he's with wisdom. And after I am come into mine house, I will repose myself with her, with Sophia, for her conversation hath no bitterness, and to live with her hath no sorrow, but mirth and joy. Now when I considered these things in myself, and pondered them in my heart, how that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality. And great pleasure it is to have her friendship, and in the works of her hands are infinite riches, and in the exercise of conference with her, prudence, and in talking with her, Sophia, I say this all the time, I talk to her all the time, especially before I fall asleep. A good report, I went about seeking how to take her to me. That was a point of wisdom also to know whose gift she was. I prayed unto the Lord, and besought him, and with my whole heart I said, O God of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who hast made all things with thy word, which, debatable. We ordained man through thy wisdom, and he should have dominion over creatures which thou hast made. Give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not among thy children. And wisdom was with thee, which knoweth thy works, and was present when thou madest the world, and knew what was acceptable in thy sight, and right in thy commandments. Send her out of thy holy heavens, and from the throne of thy glory, that being present she may labor with me, that I may know what is pleasing unto thee. For she knoweth and understandeth all things, and she shall lead me soberly in my doings, and preserve me in her power. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge thy people righteously, and be worthy to sit in my Father's seat. And thy counsel who hath known, except thou give wisdom, and send thy Holy Spirit from above. For the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and the men were taught that things are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom. She preserved the first formed father of the world, that was created alone, this could be talking about the demiurge, and brought him out of his fall, and gave him power to rule all things. Not really. And when the unrighteous went away from her in his anger, he perished also into the fury wherewith he murdered his brother. Yeah, this is definitely talking about the demiurge, aka Old Testament Yahweh. For regarding not wisdom, they gat only this hurt, that they knew not the things which were good, but also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness. But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. In the covetedness of such oppressed him, she stood by him and made him rich. She defended him from his enemies, and kept him safe from those that lay in wait. When the righteousness was sold, she forsook him not, but delivered him from his sin. She went down with him into the pit, and left him not in bonds, till she brought him the scepter of the kingdom and power against all those that oppressed him. She delivered the righteous people and blameless seed from the nation that oppressed them. She entered into the soul of the servant of the Lord and withstood dreadful kings in wonders and signs. For wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb and made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent. She prospered in their works in the hands of the holy prophet. Okay, I skipped a bit there, but I wanted to touch on the main parts of the Book of Wisdom where King Solomon is detailing the power and honoring the power of the Aeon Sophia of wisdom being in his life, of the Gnostic Goddess Sophia, and that he took her from childhood. Like, you can't physically take her, but you can accept her and receive her. I think receive is probably a better word. And worked with her because he found that this Holy Spirit, this wisdom, this inner wisdom that also manifests outside of us, is not only providing us the insight that we need to be proper leaders and effective human beings in relationships and as individuals, that she also moves all things and aligns all the situations that need to be aligned in order to be in the favor of those who receive her. That's what this text is saying. That's what I've said to many, many people over the years. That's what I talk about on Twitter. That's what I talk about with my clients. That's what I talk about here. It's that if you are even noticing Sophia, if you're working with her, if you are actively learning her story, then you place yourself in a position to be highly favored, to essentially get out of dodge of a lot of things that, of people plotting against you. She is already seeing this and putting you in the place that you need to be before it's ever an issue, because you're following your intuition, which is the voice of Sophia, your own inner wisdom, is this same voice of the goddess, is the same mover of all things. The energy that pervades all is this goddess. Okay, that's kind of very meta, very huge, but it's something that is truth, and it's something that people really need to understand. And this is what Gnosticism really details. This is what King Solomon was detailing. Whether he knew that I would classify that as, kind of a Gnostic text or not, I would say it is. I would say if you're venerating the Aeon Sophia, the goddess Sophia, then you have a Gnostic text, because at least my version of Gnosticism puts her at the center. I'm not talking about Christian Gnosticism. I think that is an oxymoron. I've said it before. I don't think that if you are Christian, then you can also hold Sophia at the center. Like, Gnosticism holds the Aeon Sophia at the center of everything, because she is at the center of everything, because she is pervading all things. And if you don't believe me, then try it out. Develop a relationship with her. Just like King Solomon did. Just like so many powerful people do, but they don't want you to know it. But King Solomon's right. He's like, I shouldn't gatekeep this. I should allow everybody to access wisdom, to access Sophia. And that's what she wants. We teach people about Sophia so that she can reach people. Mr. John Lamlash told me that when we had a phone call. And I was just like, yeah, for sure. That's it. That's what we do. We are teaching people about who she is so that your awareness can wake up to her presence in your life right freaking now. Just like King Solomon, she can make your life really powerful and transcendent. And that's what he says right there in the Book of Wisdom. Read it for yourself. I'd recommend maybe reading a different version, because that seeth, cometh, whatever, is pretty dense. But anyways, you get the gist of it. Let me know your thoughts. Would love to discuss. I'm sure some people will tell me that I'm completely wrong and off base, but that's fine. If you want to do that, chat with me, make a video about it. I don't know. And, but King Solomon said it himself. You work with Sophia, you unlock the levels that you need to unlock to fully experience life and immortality, essentially. And with that, I'm out.